Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We'll slowly begin. I hope you can hear me well, first of all. Um, if someone from the team could let me know if my sound is coming okay, that would be great. Is everything okay, guys? Okay, cool. So yeah, thank you so much for coming to Sabanci University's International Admissions webinar. I believe the second of this round. There's going to be one more later in the year, most likely. But we are midway through admissions of this year, so we thought we would, get together with everybody once again to talk to both the current applicants and anyone who might still be interested in, enrolling in Sabancı for the upcoming fall semester. Myself, let me start by introducing myself. I am Chan. I'm the head of the enrollment office now in Sabancı University. I'm joined by some of our team members. I see Alican is here. So Alican, would you like to quickly introduce yourself as well?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our session. My name is Alican. We are here right now, with Berna and with Mr. Chan. Normally, we are five of us, at the international office, who helps you with the processes admission, application, registration, and so on, like all the processes. So hopefully, it will be a really helpful session for you. After our presentation is done, we will request from you to ask your questions so we can answer all of your questions. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Alican. And Berna is also here. So Berna, let's hear from you as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Berna. Today we are very glad to have you in the session. We will be explaining our programs and application. So enjoy. If you have any questions at the end, we will be answering them. Thank you for being here.
And one of our students, Mehlal, in his hoodie, joins us as well. Mehlal, yeah, would you like to also introduce yourself too? I also see Sultan is here. So let's hear from you, Mehlal, real quick.
Um, so yeah, I'm a CS major and I'm a sophomore here, and I've been enjoying my time here. Yeah, I hope you guys do as well.
Awesome. And Sultan, thank you for joining us too. So we're just introducing yourself. So if you would just like to say, hi real quick.
Yeah, of course. Hi, I'm Sultan. I'm an industrial engineering student, and I hope everything is fine for everyone. Everyone's doing well.
Awesome. We hope so too. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for all the attendees for joining as well. So before we start, let me give a bit of an introduction about how we're going to run the webinar. We have a presentation. I'm going to take us through that as quickly as I can, as painlessly as I can. We'll go through all the university's information, and then we'll have a Q&A session at the end, basically. We'll most likely hear from Sultan and Mehlal, you guys a little bit about your experiences after the presentation part of things before we start the Q&A. And then afterwards, if you want to stay during the Q&A, some of the questions do tend to be about life here. So, you could sort of contribute at that point too. Um, you should really use the Q&A function, guys, for all your questions and comments. We're going to be reading those both during the presentation and also answering some of the questions. The especially valuable ones we tend to answer, publicly, sort of live after the webinar, after the presentation, I'm sorry, goes through. But some of the questions that you have, some of the more basic ones, we'll just also answer by text. So anything you have in mind, just write it in the Q&A. That's the easiest way to communicate with us, basically. So all that said, without further ado, let me share my screen, and we can get going. So you guys can again let me know if everything is looking good. Can you see the screen right now?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome, perfect. Okay, great. So, as I said, let's begin. Sabancı University. Uh, one moment. We're at the end of the slide. Just a sec. Let me bring this all the way back to the beginning. Okay, cool. Let's go. So yeah, Sabanci University, we were the International Relations Office. We're changing now into the Enrollment Office, of course, but this is the team. For those of you who have already applied, you're quite familiar with most of these names or some of these names. I am the manager, Can Üçtü. You've already met Ms. Berna and Mr. Alican. There's also two other team members that we have, Ms. Pınar, who will be joining us, I believe, in a little while, and Mr. Hassan, who is currently on a flight to Morocco. So he sadly won't be joining us, but this is the admission team, basically. To get going into the presentation straight away, so Sabancı is located, of course, in Turkey. The 16th largest economy in the world. We've actually increased in rankings in the last couple of years. The fifth top largest economy in Asia. Around 88 million population. Quite, touristically well known, of course, pretty beautiful, awesome food, hospitable people, lots of history, lots of different things to do. Affordable is debatable, but, affordable in comparison to some other cities. 15th most populated city, of course, we're located in Istanbul, one of the largest cities in the world, and the biggest still city in European borders, let's say, as far as population goes, especially when you calculate the population as the city center area. A cultural and financial hub of the region, of course, historical, very rich culture. World-class education, lots and lots of different universities, not only Sabancı University, but lots of other, very, very good universities as well. Of course, a very easy point of transportation, thanks to Turkish Airlines being a sort of global hub these days. So very easy to get to from anywhere in the world, and very easy to go to anywhere in the world from Istanbul these days. And of course, owing to the number of universities that exist in the city, a growing international student population, of which we hope you will be a part of coming year. So let's talk a little bit more about Sabancı too. So of course the name is always a question. People always want to know, where the name comes from. Sabancı University is owned by one of the largest corporations within Turkey, within Turkey's economy, and one of the largest one of the wealthiest families in Turkey, basically. They're involved in a lot of different businesses. You can see some of them listed on your screens right now. They're a very impactful family and a very impactful company when it comes to the Turkish economy. And of course, the university is a philanthropy project, a nonprofit that they have started more than 25 years at this point, going strong. And it's, a big advantage, of course, for the university to be part of such a network. So this is why we always want to emphasize this when we begin. But of course, we're here to talk more about the university itself. So let's get to that. So first of all, location is important. We are somewhat outside the city center, within Istanbul's more of like the industrial area in a sense, near one of the airports, within 10 minutes driving distance, one of the airports in Istanbul, so very accessible in that regard. It's a very large campus area. You'll see more pictures of it as we move on too. Very, one of Turkey's greenest campuses, very large, very safe location, and connected to a lot of different public transportation options, including the university's own networks. So very easily accessible as well, despite its somewhat outside the city center location. A very sort of, in essence, a very American university in this kind of campus energy, like the American universities have, where their campuses tend to be a little bit more outside the city. So Sabancı is very much modeled on that, let's say, idea as well. And as I said, you'll see a little bit more of it as we move on. Some facts and figures, as we said, we recently celebrated our 25th year. Around 5,500 students in the university. Currently, this number has been basically the same for the past 15 years or so. The university is happy about its size, let's say around the 5,000 student number. Of 5,000, around 15%, give or take, tend to be international students. This is actually one of the highest, actually the highest percentage of international students when it comes to Turkish research universities. So again, something that we're quite proud of course. very active in research. Sabancı is one of the top research universities in Turkey. Lots of very large scope active research projects ongoing every year for the past 25 years. Always the university has been very impactful when it comes to the research landscape of Turkey. Lots of partner universities, more than 310 partner universities around the world, almost a large part of which are ranked higher than we are in international rankings. So a very strong, academic network that students can benefit from with regards to exchange programs, which we will talk about later. Around 60 different countries are represented in the campus, whether it be in the student body or within the faculty itself. And of course, an increasing number of graduates with each passing year, working in top institutions around the world. So why Sabancı? Let's start with that before we get into the details of the university itself. So one of the major functions, one of the major factors, which we will talk about too, is the interdisciplinary education. Sabancı University has its own unique within Turkey education model. So we will speak about that a little bit more, but basically it's a very connected university regardless of the degree that you study. As we mentioned already, the top research universities in Turkey, actually the university that has the highest research budget of all universities, and considering our size, we're actually comparatively quite small to some universities that we have larger research budgets to, basically. So we're really, quite proud of that factor as well. A very global university with regards to partnerships, which we already mentioned, but also with regards to, outreach and reputation, and of course ranked very highly globally. On-campus accommodation, we will talk about this later too, but it's a university that has a beautiful campus outside the city and provides on-campus accommodation for every single student, basically. We have 100% demand to, let's say demand fulfillment rate as of the last 2 years, which is quite impressive. Global exchange opportunities, which we mentioned. Exceptional employment rates. Sabancı University remains the university among private universities, especially in Turkey, that has the highest employment rate after graduation. This has been the same for multiple years now in a row. So again, something that we're quite proud of. And of course, an important question, fully English education, 100% in English. So we mentioned rankings already. You can see, some rankings in the last couple of years that the university was, was featured in. Of course, in terms of higher education, last year we were #1 in Turkey, around the 350 to 400 mark. In QS, we tend to be around the 500s and so on. Owing a little bit to the university's size there again, because size is a little bit more important on QS rankings. So it basically changes, of course, our spots. Sometimes we're #1, sometimes we're #2, but consistently we have been one of the top universities in Turkey for the past 10, 15 years now, especially again when you look at research output. So the rankings sort of speak to the university's qualities itself. But of course, it's not the only picture, only story here. The education system that I mentioned already bears some detailing. So Sabancı University basically is the only university in Turkey that follows what is more commonly known globally as the core curriculum system. It's basically a model in which students choose their majors after they begin their studies. So not when you're applying, but after you begin your studies. So how that works, we'll sort of detail it a little bit. In the freshman year, when students enroll, so hopefully for all students who come to the Sabancı University on undergraduate, in the first year, you take shared courses. Basically, if you're a computer science student or a psychology student or a visual arts student or a business student, it doesn't matter. Everybody takes the same courses in the first year. You can see the courses listed on the screen right now. The common courses, such as science and nature and calculus and so on and so forth. Every student has to go through these. Once you pass this first year of courses, then you choose your program, basically. You can either make this choice at the beginning of your second year, or you can wait a year longer and make that choice at the end of the second year, using the second year to experiment between different programs. So you still have more availability, to see which one you actually enjoy more by taking classes from that program and then making the decision after. Or if you're certain at the end of your first year, you can also just make the decision straight away. There is a major fest event every year that's held in the university to try and make you, make that decision with a little bit more information so that you can more accurately choose the program that you want to follow. And then the third and fourth years, you basically specialize in the program that you have chosen. On top of this, there are also minor and double major opportunities. So students can do double major across all combination of all of these degrees. Of course, double majors tend to be quite, a heavy workload because you need to do two programs basically at the same time. So there are also minor programs which you can do. There are some additions to this list on the right side, which you can see the minor programs list. So these are basically courses that you can sort of consider them like a half coursework load to the full degree. So, you can take these and then when you're graduating, you'll also have a certificate for them too. So you can really, truly specialize your education, this even without just mentioning the elective freedoms that the university has, where you can choose courses from multiple different faculties and programs and so on during your program education. So all of these things combined, Sabanci can really provide a very unique pathway to every single student, depending on what they're actually looking for. There is one important thing that we should mention here, and this is something that we mentioned, in the admission process as well, is that this system, the choice within the faculty is available for everybody, but to be able to make a choice across your faculty, so like, if you got enrolled into computer science and you want to swap to, let's say, psychology, you do need to submit certain documents during the application stage. Basically an exam of some sort, like outside of your high school graduation, let's put it that way. But in some high school systems like the GC and IB and so on, this is not needed. So it's important to know that some students cannot benefit from this system. But of course, we are here to, detail the specifics of it. So as I said, everyone can choose the program that they want within their own faculty. But if you want to do it cross faculty, then just mention it to us and we will make sure that, your application gives you that right or not. We will inform you on that. Moving on. Some networks and different accreditations that the university has. So currently we actually have added another accreditation. The business school is accredited by AACSP and I believe recently EMBA. There are basically like multiple major accreditation organizations for business schools, and Sabanci is on the road right now to being Triple Crown accredited. I believe we are waiting for the last accreditation on 2027. So at that point, we will have all global accreditations for the business school. All the engineering programs are accredited by the American Council of Engineers through EURACE, which is their European counterpart, let's put it that way. We are also part of some different networks. Venice International University, for example, is one that's quite significant. You can see some information about it here. So it's basically a consortium of different universities, like really top universities from the world, which you can see hopefully on the map, where we basically hold classes in summer in Venice, in this island in Venice that you can see. Basically, that's the campus of the program. This is basically funded by the university, so you don't pay anything extra, but students can go and study in, Venice, taking classes from professors from all of the universities within our network. So it's a really, significant system, significant program that we've added recently. So we are really part of a lot of different, networks and partnerships like this too, which really can, give you a very detailed, very interesting educational path once again. Let's talk a little bit about alumni, our alumni and our graduates in past years. Of course, we do track what they do. So around 80% tend to follow professional careers. You can see listed, the companies that they work in, the logos, and at the center, their actual location. So we do tend to send a lot of graduates to, top companies, whether it be in Istanbul or globally. A lot of graduates in California and London and, in Netherlands and so on and so forth, where we hold yearly alumni meetings. and we try to, follow their path and, make sure that they remain connected, to, really help their post-graduation careers when it comes to professional life. So there's, we're really easy to follow, let's say, footsteps of the ones that have come before who have, really reached some great places. And of course, that applies to graduate studies as well. A lot of our graduates tend to study in top universities in the world when they do their master's and PhD programs. This is especially the case because a lot of our own professors are either professors or students who have graduated, done their PhDs and so on, or postgraduate programs in these top universities. So there's a very strong connection with the university and, some top institutions in the world like MIT and Stanford and so on and so forth. There are a lot of professors in Sabanci who are like Oxford and Cambridge and, Harvard, etc. graduates. So, or as I said, like professors who worked in those institutions before coming to Turkey. So it really does set up a very easy to follow, let's say, pathway. Again, the university is a very good stepping stone in reaching these heights. So once again, it's something that we really enjoy emphasizing, this idea of using, Sabancı University in Turkey, that's, maybe not at these heights, but it can help you to reach these goals in the future. And something that, we really emphasize in the university too. And of course, that has a little bit also to do with our research output. So, as we mentioned already before, the university has one of the largest, if not the largest, actually, research budget in Turkey when it comes to universities. And we are one of the, we have the highest research quality score as well. When you look at like Times Higher Education rankings, as you can see, lots of different fields, and this is not only related to like engineering and natural sciences, but also to the School of Business and Social Sciences and so on. So there's a lot of very strong research focus in the university that really benefits students even during their undergraduate studies. And of course, if you are here for postgraduate, then that is part of your life anyway. So this is also why we are, very strong when it comes to this sort of global outlook, because we are also very reputable when it comes to the research output, and we are very connected with other universities when it comes to the research output. So it really does help finding, a good postgraduate program. And also the exchange opportunities, which we mentioned before. So there are 310, I believe, a little bit more than this now, partners of the university, of really some top level universities in the world, which you can see, some logos. So Sabancı has the highest budget when it comes to exchange students in Turkey. This is not even proportional. Like we literally have the highest budget, even though we're one of the smaller universities in the country. And we send multiple, like hundreds of students every year to exchange programs and receive similar numbers of students from other countries, other universities. Exchange programs, for those of you who might not be aware, are basically a system in which you spend either one term or two terms in a different university, in a partner university of ours. While not paying anything extra, you still remain a Sabancı University student, but you take courses basically from that university. And then you graduate. When you graduate from Sabancı, you also get an additional certificate, and it shows in your transcript that you did an exchange program. The university funds this as well. So for the universities in the Erasmus, in the European network, basically the funding comes from, outside sources. But if you want to go and, let's say, do your exchange program in Singapore or in, Taiwan and in China and Hong Kong and, Japan, Brazil, South Africa, Australia, and so on, then the university pays your costs out of pocket, basically. And we're one of only two universities in Turkey that give this opportunity to students. So it really is a program that we're quite proud of, and we really emphasize. It's a very good way of getting an even better education, getting an even better experience in your undergraduate education. So again, something that we highly, highly recommend everybody to follow. And a little bit more, let's talk about, campus life. We already mentioned that, we're outside the city center a little bit, but we do have a vibrant campus, of course, with a lot of different, interests in the student body, lots of different clubs, lots of different sports teams, a lot of events across the year on campus, whether it be, in the Performing Arts Center or whether it be student held events, whether it be career office events or like some, more fun festivals and so on and so forth. And we mentioned on-campus accommodation already, so all of our dormitories are on campus. The photo that you hopefully can see, those are our dormitory buildings, basically. So they're all located on campus within walking distance to the faculties. We give priority to international students, so as long as you want to stay in the dorms, you will always have a room available. There are different room types, 2, 3, and 4-person rooms. We will talk about scholarships later, but we do also fund dormitory costs through scholarships for applicants as well, if you're able to get that scholarship. The campus itself is built like a mini city, so there are multiple different, cafeterias. There are different restaurants and cafes that you can find those kinds of different cuisines represented. Let's put it that way. There's a supermarket. There are kitchens and so on in the dorms if you want to do your own cooking. There's a health center. There's obviously like a library and a sports center, the normal things that you would expect from a university, but there's also a post office, a hairdresser, and so on. So a lot of the things that you need day to day, you can find within the campus. But of course, we do have our own students here, so I'll cut this part short. They can, attest to this later on. They can share their own experiences. So you'll hear this more from their side than mine. Some photos from the university, largely the dorm areas and some of the dorm room types, the beds you can see, the washing rooms and so on and so forth, the study room on the bottom left side. The cafeteria, the top photo is the university's cafeteria. Only about, I believe, 40% of it is visible in that photo. So it's a pretty large area. Our research center on the bottom right, bottom center is our library. So, different parts of the campus, basically. And all of that brings us to the application details. So applications are ongoing right now for undergraduate programs, of course. The deadline is the 28th of August, 2026. It's pretty easy to apply. You can follow the application, we reach the application portal through the QR code that you can see on the top right. All we need is, your transcripts and passport and so on and so forth. And you can always submit anything that you're missing right now afterwards when you're continuing the application. There is an application fee of $30, but we do consider application fee waivers for certain cases. We can't make any promises, of course, but it is something that we do evaluate in certain cases and try to help out students with. The documents, as we mentioned before, are listed here. One thing that is often a question, which we should clarify, is that you do not need to take the TOEFL or any kind of an English exam to be able to get admission to Sabanci University. You can apply without an English test and take our English test instead during your registration period. So it's entirely possible to just, skip the English test requirement during the application stage. You don't have to have any exam as well, like the SAT, etc. They are not mandatory. You can apply with just your high school grades. But of course, anything that strengthens your application tends to be a benefit when it comes to scholarships. Especially because our tuition fees, we cost around $36,500 per academic year. But very few amount of our international students actually pay the full tuition. There is a scholarship support that the university provides to students to fulfill our, merit requirements and so on and so forth, who have strong applications at 25, 40, 50, 60, and 75% levels of tuition waiver, as well as an accommodation scholarship that covers accommodation costs for the entire education. On the scholarships, the validity period is 4 years, basically. So when you get it, it is given for the full duration of your education. You cannot lose your scholarship unless you cheat on your exams or get some sort of disciplinary punishment. But the scholarships are for the regular duration of the education. So if you fail to graduate within 4 years, then in your last year, the scholarship support might run out. So that is an important thing to keep in mind. But there's different scholarship levels, largely given on academic merit. Of course, we have, specific criteria. We do look at financial need as well, but academic merit does remain a factor, especially when it comes to our higher scholarship levels. So that is something that is important to keep in mind. The admission roadmap, as I said, the applications are ongoing and will continue until 28th of August. There is a prepayment that we expect candidates to make to be able to receive their final acceptance letter. Our registrations are due to start at the beginning of July, and then the university itself will most likely be opening in late September. This year, we will, of course, be there to, help all of you throughout that process, hopefully, when the day comes. We're very ready to assist. You can find some of our contacts on your screen as we're closing out the presentation side of this webinar. Our website, of course, iro.sabanciuniv.edu. If you want to do a campus tour, if you're ever able to come to Istanbul, let us know. We would be more than happy to welcome you on campus anytime you wish. Our social media channels, you can see the link, and of course our email at the very bottom. If you have any questions about this presentation so far or anything else, you can always reach us through iro-crm@sabanciuniv.edu. And that's the end of the presentation. So let me stop sharing my screen, and then we can begin the Q&A section of any questions that might not have been answered so far. Sorry, my bad. We almost always do the Q&A section first, but we have to take a pause before we start the Q&A section. First, to introduce Miss Pınar, who joined the event during the presentation, I believe.
Yes, hello. So this is Pınar. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm mainly responsible from the Asian part of the world. So I'm the marketing specialist of this team. So please feel free to ask all your questions. Accordingly, we can answer your questions after the presentation, if you still have presentation, of course, questions, of course. So I will also remove my hand. I think my hand's also raised. Okay. Thank you. Enjoy.
Awesome. So yeah, Ms. Pınar joined us in the presentation. She's of course one of our team members as well. And Mehlal and Sultan, if you guys want to add a little bit of your own experiences about the university, feel free to contradict anything I've said. If you want to say like, no, the campus is much smaller than he suggested or something, be my guest. The student outlook is important. So the floor is yours.
Oh, don't tell them, of course.
If I'm being honest, I feel the opposite of what you just said. Like, I feel like when I hear someone says that our campus is actually small, I feel like I question myself, because I feel like it's actually bigger than what it seems. Like, I don't know, I'm always like troubled to walk to the faculty. Like, I feel like it's a long walk, but I enjoy walking though, because like I like the greenery there, because I live in Saudi Arabia. We don't have much nature here, so I really like the campus, especially in this period of the year, of like around spring. The campus is very beautiful, honestly, especially like when I walk to the sports center. It's always a nice walk there. And
Awesome.
yeah, that's what I wanted to comment about that.
For sure. Awesome. So you're in which program?
I was in the industrial engineering.
Industrial engineering. And which year are you in right now?
I'm currently second year student.
Second year.
This is awesome.
So did you, like, I actually have this question for Mehlan as well. Did you feel the impact of the university sort of program, the freedom of choice major selection system at all in a positive way, or the interdisciplinary aspect of the education, or did we lose Sultan? Oh no, she's okay. No, we lost someone else, I think. Adijan, maybe. I think Adijan's second profile. But yeah, did you feel that at all, like the education system, the freedom that it provides, the elective courses, etc.? Mehlal, you can answer this too if you wish. I'm always very curious to hear the student side of this.
Honestly, I actually did. I planned on like when I first came to university, I was planning on studying computer science, but from the freshman courses you get uh, IF 100, which is a Python coding course, and from that you kind of can tell if that's the path that you want to take, or if you have other courses that you prefer. So, like from just the freshman courses, it helped me decide that in the end, I wanted to change to the industrial engineering, and I preferred it more than computer science in the end.
Hmm. Similarly, like there's also more things you can try as well. Like for example, if you're already planning to do CS, so you can also like they allow you to speed run a bit if you want to put it that way. Like for
Mhm.
example, you can take advanced courses earlier if you've passed the prereqs. Like that's really helpful. Like it helped me. I'm now a whole semester ahead because of doing that.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was really helpful, to be honest.
I see. I didn't even know that was possible, actually. So that's pretty cool. Okay. If you guys want to add anything, the floor is yours. I'll be silent now for a little bit. If not, then I believe Berna is the next host, and we'll start the Q&A section. And I will be a little silent, so I'm not hogging the spotlight so much. And you guys can do the Q&A section between yourselves. So thank you guys for listening to me so far. And the floor is the rest of the entire groups now.
Thank you, John. Thank you for your wise words, as always. You explain in detail. And thank you guys again for being here. Actually, I have a question for Mehdal and Sultan first, if it's okay to add. My question is, guys, like, what does a typical day as a Sabancı student for you? Like, what do you do on an individual day? Like, can you talk about your general student life experience? Because students are always having questions regarding the student life in Istanbul, the student life in Sabanci University overall. Maybe you can contribute a few things as well. And then next, if we don't have any other questions, we can start with the Q&A section.
So usually, well, Sabanci has in the first year a lot of classes at 8 a.m. So you can expect to wake up at 8 a.m. and then they give you a break about for an hour or two. Usually, it depends on how you align your classes. Then you have an opportunity out of like 6 or 7 different varieties of food locations. Like we have 3 coffee shops, we have 6 different locations for food. We have Subway on campus, we have a pizza restaurant on campus. And, like you have an opportunity to choose whatever you want. We have a fountain area around which we have all of these restaurant areas. We visit there a lot. Like I'm assuming most of our student body visits there at least once a day because it's actually really beautiful. I think you guys saw it in the picture as well. After that, we just go back to classes, and after that, everyone spends some time at the gym with their friends. It's not the gym only, it's like we play volleyball, badminton, table tennis, everything's there basically. Except that recently there's been a lot of events as well. Recently, I think Sabanci had a Nation Fest, which is our new international day, and basically it's the biggest version of the international day you can expect in Turkey. At least that's what our feedbacks have said. And yesterday we had the biggest dance night basically in Istanbul in our performing arts center, which was done by our Su Dance Club, which invited many different universities like Mimar Sinan, Istanbul University, Boğaziçi, and Bahçeşehir as well. So that's the usual day. It was really fun.
Sadly, I missed that night. I wanted to go to the Sabanci University dance night, but I couldn't go. But I saw videos and everyone was having fun. But yeah, I mean, our days are similar. I guess everyone has like the same kind of thing, especially first year. You said 8:40s. There's a lot of 8 a.m. classes. And there's like some breaks between like classes every day almost. And there's many options of where you want to eat. Even just the cafeteria alone, every single day there's like new menus, and there's like the my SU app tells you the menu already. You don't even need to go there to check. And after classes, we go to the sports center. And I like working out a lot, so I go to the gym every day. And even eating clean is not hard on our campus. You know, you have many options, and it's helpful. Honestly, it's really helpful. And even just walking around and seeing random events, like you just walk around, you find like a random event you didn't even know about. Like for example, like the past couple of days, there's been like the food truck stuff. It was pretty nice. You know, we went and there was some good food, honestly, and good vibes. Everyone was chilling there, you know. And yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you guys for giving such beautiful examples. It is so great to hear from our students, like real life experiences. So we can start with the Q&A if you'd like. Actually, Q&A part has similar questions, so I will combine some of them together and we will be answering live mostly. But of course, if we need to send some links, direct website parts, we will be sharing them within the question part and an answer part. And also, as I believe, you can like ask your questions with your full name, or if you decide to be anonymous, you can ask with an anonymous system as well. So first we can start with the questions. First question from Noor, saying like, what is the criteria of scholarship? Again, Mohanat is asking about the scholarship criteria, about the types, if there is a full scholarship. And also there is another similar question from Bidemi. It is saying, scholarship and do Sabanci University offer fully funded scholarship. So overall, maybe Ms. Pınar may contribute to our conversation with some of the scholarship criteria, the admission part, if you are available, Pınar.
Yes, sure, I'm available. Okay, so the scholarship part, right? Okay, we have like merit-based scholarships. So we offer scholarships starting from 25% up to full scholarships. We also provide a dormitory scholarship for the 3-person room. And these criteria actually, the decision will be made first of all by the scholarship committee. There's a scholarship committee that will decide on the offers. General, they look your documents, of course. Your academic background is important for us. And also the time of your application is also important because of the scholarship quota. We have also scholarship quota, and each month it's getting decreased. That's why early application is also plus. There are some exams like SAT, ACT, AP, and some like diploma types like IB, A-level. These are also important for us, and these are the acceptable exams. If the exam scores are like higher than minimum requirement, then you can also eligible for the scholarship. But also there are some supporting documents, not mandatory, optional documents like maybe motivation letter, reference letters, and some certificates, Olympiad certificates. These are also affects positively the decision of the board. So there are lots of things that we do look actually while deciding for the scholarship. But the main point is your academic background must be strong, and also you need to apply early as much you can actually. So, and for the maybe English documents also, I can also reply for this, Berna. Well, English proficiency document is not mandatory. And actually, it doesn't affect so much your scholarship offer. But if you have one of the acceptable English document, then you will be exempted from our English prep school year. And what are these documents? Like TOEFL exam and PT exam. If you don't have any of them on campus upon your arrival during the registration week, you can also take our own English proficiency exam. So if you pass from this exam, you can be also exempted from our prep school year. These are the things that I can tell now.
Thank you, Pınar. Thank you so much for the answer. Second question, what is the acceptance rate overall? If you'd like to, like Alican, Pınar, or Can.
I can tell if you would
Of
like
course,
again.
of course.
So if you meet the minimum requirement, there's a very long list that's a country-based list, and there are also international exams and diplomas we accept. So if you meet the minimum requirement, you will be definitely accepted. But scholarship changes actually.
Yeah, we try to assess correctly, and if you provide the minimum requirement, of course, you'll be getting the acceptance. And another question, it is actually a question which combines scholarship criteria and other program-related questions. Tayeba is asking, does the university provide scholarships for international students? Yes, we just mentioned. And the other question, are there any fully funded programs offered? Like your application is actually will be assessed, and accordingly you will be receiving a scholarship rate. So first, university management wants to see your overall documents like transcripts, your studies that you had in your high school. And do you offer health-related undergraduate degrees? We offer which program? Not directly health-related, but it can be related if you want to. It's called molecular biology and genetics and bioengineering. This is my full answer for you, dear Tayeba. And any waiver for the bachelor students? Another question from Kahfus. I think we can mention it in the written format for this question. For as Zeynep's question, when does physical registration start and end for the accepted students? Maybe we can mention about the approximate schedule of the enrollment process in general. For that, Alican maybe would like to contribute if he has time.
Of course, yes. So the registrations, like as a regulation from the Higher Council of Education in Turkey, it's starting from the 1st of July. So like starting from the 1st of July, you will be able to like complete your registration, and according to that, you will be receiving your acceptance letter. But the thing is like depending on the university, like the enrollment, like the physical registration dates may show like variety, and like our like the physical registration dates are still not certain, but like it's usually happens in September. So like in September, like once you reach to Turkey, like to complete your registration and everything, you will come to university, you will submit your physical documents, and you will complete your registration. Then usually at the end of September, starting in the beginning of October, the course starts, like the academic year starts.
Thank you so much for the answer. We can see the next question. It is from Umar. It says, I have a weird question. No, all questions are normal. Please ask them. And after first year, is there a percentage of students that switch to a specific major? As an example, after first year, 23% of students, they might heavily go to engineering or mechatronics engineering. I also have a quick answer for them, but if you want, any of you, maybe Can or Pınar may contribute.
Yeah, the thing that I can say, like I can add for this question, that I am not sure if we do have like a certain percentages, like specific percentages for the programs, but the thing that I can mention, like among all our international students, usually the most preferred programs of ours are like engineering programs and our management program. We do provide like different variety of engineering programs under our natural and engineering sciences faculty, and like all the programs that we do offer like under that faculty, like it's like commonly very popular like among all the international students.
And also the beauty of Sabanci University is actually if all students at the same time decide to go to an engineering program together, university can hold this amount of students for that faculty program. So it's the beauty of it because we calculate and we try to provide a high quality of education to the students according to the numbers. For every like one professor, there are 18 students and the number doesn't change. And always we try to keep this system updated, and we care about your education status and level, of course. So this is also answered live. Another question from Omar, are accommodations included? I can quickly say, like, We have separate accommodations within the campus body, like two-person, three-person, four-person rooms. We provide an additional scholarship if you are evaluated accordingly, and if your application is like after the evaluation process, if you get this dorm scholarship, you can stay in the university during your education period for free. However, accommodation is a separate payment system. If you don't have dorm scholarship, of course, you'll be paying separately.
Yeah,
But we
if I
consider living in Turkey like they are cheap when you consider.
Also, I want to just like mention one thing because like we are receiving this questions a lot from the international students especially. So as Mr. Chan and Ms. Berna mentioned, like we do have separate scholarships for both tuition fee and for the dormitory, for the accommodation. Once you complete your application online, you will be both considered for dormitory scholarship and for the tuition fee scholarship. So you don't need to do like anything separate. Like you don't need to make any other separate application, or you don't need to make like any kind of other queries to like have the scholarships. Once you complete your application, you will upload all the required documents like your diploma, your transcripts, like if you do have like any kind of international exam, any additional documents, it will all help you to get like the maximum scholarship that the university provides for you. But as I mentioned, for both for the tuition fee scholarship and for the dormitory accommodation scholarship, once you complete your application, you will be considered for both. So you don't need to do any other applications, like any other separate applications.
Okay, thank you, Alican. Another question from Sofiana. Question is, do we have to do an entrance exam when we get to the campus for the first time? Maybe
You can
Pınar.
answer if you want. Yes. There's no entrance exam, but if you don't have, as I mentioned on my first speech, if you don't have any English proficiency exam, you need to take our own English proficiency exam on arrival to your campus. It will be like a 1.5 day exam, quite long, sadly. So if you can take a TOEFL exam, it will be better for us. Then if you have like PT, valid score from PT or TOEFL exam, you don't need to take any other exams.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question, is on-campus employment available? I think Mehlal may answer this question because he's our assistant student at the campus.
Yes, so the most attractive employment status for a student is at the international office, because it's the most enjoyable place, because you get to meet a lot of people. You have a lot of fun time with everyone here, and you get to find out new things every day regarding new inquiries by students, which is somewhat fun as well, like finding out new things. For example, if someone wants the residence permit and they want to leave the same day, so you have to somehow find a way that they get the residence permit before they're leaving, for example. So that's a fun way of dealing with things if you look at it from this perspective. And yeah, like there's other opportunities in SR as well, but I would recommend the international office.
So much. Also, at the same time, like you can work in different offices, like in, I don't know, IC library, in gym for different jobs, administrative part. However, you can also work as TAs, like teaching assistants, learning assistants, and within the classroom environment, you'll be paid as well. But these are like jobs for your own pocket money. Once you get money out of this small jobs, you can use them for your, I don't know, as a shuttle money, as food money, etc. Within the campus, I believe in the near future, Higher Education Council will change a few regulations, and with that, they will be opening more job opportunities for the university students overall. So this is what we want in general, but we will see. On-campus employment is possible, so this is creates the answer. Thank you, Mehlal. And 1 second. Hello, VK Romanov. Hello, I'm doing my A-levels and will get my full results on mid-January. May I know your scholarship pattern based on the scores? Also, is there a spring take-in or only fall semester? Maybe Ms. Pınar may answer.
Well, unfortunately, for the bachelor programs, we don't have any spring term. So we have only one intake, it's fall intake. And if you have a diploma, I think where he was from, like Jordan, Berna, did he mention any country?
No, not specified, I guess.
No, okay. Maybe he can or she can. It was he, I guess. So he can continue the registration process maybe with the diploma then. Instead of the official A-level grades. Because for the registration process, the student resource department wants to see the official documents. So maybe you can use your diploma instead of your official IB A-level results. So once you get your results, you can just submit these results as well. But as I said, there's only one term, one intake for the bachelor programs.
Thank you. Another question. Also, is there a possibility to live without any roommates? Gana Kurbanova is asking. I can reply quickly. We have 2-person, 3-person, and 4-person rooms for undergrad students. Students living in a single room is able only for PhD students because due to the regulations, unfortunately, like single room choice for undergrad is not possible at the moment. Another question. How do parents visit the student during the study term? Is it possible to enter the campus? Yes, your child, our student needs to inform the security about the arrival of that family member, specific person, and with this request, our campus is open for everyone. We can say like approximately 24/7, well, of course, it will be up to the student's choice. And again, there's a question regarding scholarship criteria. Alican is answering.
I'm just like going to provide a link
Please.
for you to see like all the scholarship options that we do provide for our international students. There is no like certain grade or like exam score requirement for the scholarships that we do provide because they are competitive scholarships. We're like after you complete your application, as Ms. Pınar mentioned, like we do have a scholarship committee in our university. So like as with our scholarship committee, we are evaluating all the documents that you have uploading, like just like submitting one while you are completing your application. According to that, we are providing scholarship. Like each like twice, like once in 2 weeks, like once in 3 weeks, like we are sending rounds of offer letters. And for all that rounds of offer letters that we are providing, like we are checking all the students' success ratio. According to that success ratio, we are providing this scholarship. So it's a competitive scholarship, but just like keep it in your mind, like depending on your grade, like how high is your scores, like exam scores, diploma score, like GPA score, like whatever examination that you are having, like you will be receiving a like good scholarship from the university.
Thank you. And next question, when will you announce the exact dates of the enrollment period? We can all answer this question, I guess. The enrollment period, the official enrollment period will be actually starting in July, but we didn't send the full like official offers for the students yet because of the Higher Education Council numbers. This all is linked to each other. So once we finish all, we will be immediately letting you know about the whole process, so you don't need to worry. For the ones who already got accepted, by the way. And Erdaulet is asking, can we study for free with foundation year if I'm from Kazakhstan, and did we need to have IELTS score? Ms. Pınar from Kazakhstan.
Okay. So as I mentioned before, we only accept PT or TOEFL exam. If you don't have any of them, you need to take our own exam, but it's free of charge, of course, the exam. You don't need to pay for our English proficiency exam. And also you don't need to register. If you don't submit any English proficiency exam document, then you will be automatically registered for our exam. So if you fail on the exam, you need to study like 1 semester or like 2 semester according to your level of English on the prep school of language actually. So the tuition fee of the School of Language is also same with the faculty fees, and the scholarship that if you already have like scholarship offer, then it will be also valid for this English proficiency year as well. And also another thing that we need to mention, maybe Can already mentioned about this, but IELTS exam is not acceptable in Turkey by the law. It's forbidden. So you won't be exempted with an IELTS score, unfortunately.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Another question from Ramesh. Is the scholarship is depend on academics or test scores or extracurricular activities? Actually, Ms. Punar answered this question overall. She mentioned about a merit-based scholarship, but with an extracurricular activity provided. So overall application is important. So for your...
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything makes different with the other applicants because, there are very similar results actually from the SAT exam as well, or A-level or IB. So anything makes different with the other applicants definitely makes advantage for your application.
Thank you. Questions from Umar. I think he has two questions there. First one is, in the first year, you can take advanced courses. I didn't know that. And second one is saying, can you take extra courses in the first year? So maybe Mehlal can mention a few things about first year courses general, what you do in the classes, how is the system is going, because you take different field related courses at the same time. Maybe you can mention about the overall view for this question.
Okay, so basically, in your first semester, you're taking 7 courses. One of them is a civic course. Basically, it provides you with a way to do civil service, but as a inside of a classroom. Basically, it gives you detailed ways of understanding what's going on around you in your life, and many things which align with the UN SDGs. And you have many other courses which open up many gateways for you. Like if you're taking a course we call natural science, it's basically a combination of physics and chemistry, and its second part has biology as well. When you're taking these courses, it allows you to take mechatronics, electrical, it allows you to take CS, it allows you to take biomedical as well. If you're taking maths, it's required for all of our majors, so you're taking that course as well. Then there's SPS. It's a Sabanci specific course. It's a new way of getting you to understand how the world ended up in the place where it is today, and showing you through the examples of people around you which are really famous, which are the inventions which led to the specific things which came today, which things fell for them to not be further developed, and this type of things. And then there's 2 mandatory courses we have to take for the Turkish Higher Education Commission is TLL and HIST. TLL is basically Turkish literature and language. You basically learn all the things about Turkish poets, Turkish literary people, and also the teachers will help you understand the history behind the poets writing those things, the literary people having the meaning behind what the political situation was, what their views were. And in history, they explain from the late Ottoman times till modern day of Turkey. They teach you all of these things. And all of these courses have a part 2 in your second semester, except the civic course. Instead of that, you'll have a course called AL. It's a presentation course. It's usually in other universities, it's taught in masters, where you're given a way to express yourself on a stage. You prepare a presentation, you're against an audience, and you have to present what you've researched about, basically. The extra course which you could have taken is there's an allocation of 3 credits, which you're allowed to, in a sense, overload your semester, which is what I did. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. I took Turkish language as my first semester's extra course. When I took the course, initially I thought there wasn't going to be that much of a pressure because it's just Turkish. It turns out you have to pay attention to all classes, because it's not like the teachers will just let you pass for free. They require you to have some level of attention in your classes, and all of the teachers do remember you by face, so make sure to pay attention in classes. And in my second semester, basically, I took a second year course earlier, which was CS 201, which comes after IF 100. Because I completed the course in my first semester, so there was no other prerequisite required for that course. So I took it in my second semester, which allowed me to take the more advanced course, which is CS 204, in my summers. And then I took CS 300 last semester, and like basically I'm done with all of my mandatory CS credits, and I'm basically chilling after this semester. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Mehda. Thank you so much. Another question from Noveen. Are international political economics and philosophy, politics and economy available for undergraduate? For our undergraduate programs, of course, we have a few programs with these names. For example, one of them is called Political Science and International Relations, 100% taught in English language, and you can be an expert regarding political science and international relations after graduation, because it gives you the full view for your global perspective and so on. However, like you can combine it with different curriculums as well. And another program that we offer is also economics for 4 years. For philosophy, like you may take philosophy-related courses separately, so it will be up to you. You can enhance your own curriculum according to your own interests. So this is important. You can create your own career path among the courses that you take, and you can create your own curriculum within the sense of interdisciplinary education. So this is important. Another question from Vikaya again. I think we answered that, but maybe we can simply mention the full background story of our application process from this question, because the question is saying specifically like I'm doing my A-levels and will get my full results on mid-Jan, it says. I think Jan, not June, right? May I know your scholarship pattern based on the scores? Also, is there spring taken or only fall semester? Ms. Pınar actually mentioned about this. Unfortunately, for undergraduate levels, we don't have spring intakes. However, we overall maybe Mr. Alican can mention about the general application period for our undergrad program applications.
So for undergraduate programs, like we do only have one intake, and the applications for that intake starts in January. Like generally it starts in January and it's continued till the end of August. So like within this period, between January to August, you can apply for the upcoming intake. So for example, right now, like we are doing, we are recruiting students for the intake, which is like for 2026, 2027. So like till the end of August, like you can complete your application. For A levels, if you request predicted grades from your school with that predicted grades, you can apply, and for that predicted grades, we can evaluate those documents, and according to your predicted grades, we can provide you offer letter with the decided scholarship by our scholarship committee.
Thank you.
I
Another
think
question.
the problem is, Berna, these questions asked already like 40 or 50 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
that's why we are repeating ourselves. But I think students are already understood
Yeah, of course.
the replies as I had.
We will eliminate the similar ones, but some students may attend a bit late. So because of that, maybe we have to repeat a few times. Another question, I will just explain this question quickly because I need to reply to this question with a written format. Kuzaima is saying, I'm from Pakistan, currently studying in second year of university. I want to participate in exchange program. Are there any scholarships for that? Exchange program is a complete different scenario. However, since we are Sabanci University, we have many beautiful agreements that our own students, as Sabanci students, can have exchange program or like Erasmus exchange, global exchange in different countries, or from different countries, students may study at Sabanci University on the term basis. However, first, the rule of exchange is 99%. Like you have to have an agreement with your university and with our university. So I'm sending you our partnership link. Just check your university name there, and maybe you can contact our exchange office directly. Another, Arijan is answering another question with an answer.
Since we already answered those like English
We can
questions,
eliminate them.
Yeah.
Maybe we can just tell the TOEFL score, minimum TOEFL score. We need 85. There's Ramazan's question, as I see. So if you have TOEFL score with a minimum or like above 85, then you can be exempted. But first of all, you need to send the report to us. Like PDF version is okay. You don't need to send it by ETS. So if you send us this TOEFL score, accordingly, we need to take approval from the School of Languages.
Thank you. There's a comment, not a question, but I would like to read it aloud. I'm currently a student and I'm very much interested in Sabanci University because of its interdisciplinary approach to the education, world-class faculty that make it the ideal place to grow academically and professionally. Thank you, Fiza. And again, as we mentioned, we don't have a specific decided entrance exam. Our scholarships are merit-based, and according to your own high school results, you'll be placed within a faculty. Again, this is answered. Again, dear Umar, we mentioned IELTS is not accepted in Turkey right now. TOEFL or PT scores are accepted. From TOEFL, it's 85. From PT, 71 as far as I remember as the minimum requirements. And there is another question regarding master's program. Can, would you like to add our master's program email to Melek Hanım's? Thank you. Another question, can I still receive a full scholarship with great portfolio and stats but low GPA? Again, as we mentioned first, we want to see your full experience from your high school, like transcripts, etc. Of course, as Ms. Pınar mentioned, your overall application will be evaluated. So within your extracurriculars and activities and so on. I'm checking another question that we didn't answer yet. That's why it takes time a bit.
Just I want to mention that like
Yeah.
for the questions that we already answered, I am just sending the related links. So from your answers, from the answers that we are providing to you, you can see the the detailed links for the questions that you are asking.
Another question that I just wanted to say is Turkey is a part of EU with Schengen visa? No, not right now. It was planned in the past, but right now, no. Turkey has its own visa application system. Maybe we would like to mention a few things regarding visa. I would like to mention like the visa process actually, once you are accepted to Sabancı University, once you see your acceptance letter, and after the related like deposit payment and so on, you'll be placed within our quota. And after you will receive your full offer. With the full offer itself, you will receive a Higher Education Council number. Within this Higher Education Council number, it is allowing you to apply for any visa process all around the world. So we will be helping you regarding the visa situation as well. Let's say you need a visa support letter, or if you need to obtain an official email from our university, we also help with this as well. However, personally, you have to apply for a visa in your home country, and once you go to the Turkish government representatives, you provide your acceptance letter within that. Mostly, like from one country to another, the time may change. However, like approximately within a month, you will receive your student visa and enter Turkey. This is applicable for the ones who need to obtain a visa in order to enter Turkey. But if you are coming from countries which don't require any kind of visa to enter, you can just use your own passport, and if your passport allows with you the touristic entrance, of course you can enter without waiting for any kind of visa. And after that, our university helps you with the residence permit processes as well for everyone who do not hold any Turkish citizenship. And so Another question, it's a bit similar question, but I want to pursue in mechatronics engineering. I have a few rewards and certificates from the national universities across my homeland in Pakistan. So will they be valued? Of course, any document that you provide to our site are enough for your application process, and they will be assessed and evaluated according to your own case. So I'm sending the application link as well. Do you accept IELTS? As we mentioned, IELTS is not accepted in Turkey. Instead, TOEFL or PTE scores are accepted, but you don't need to worry. We have our own English exam. That's why you don't have these exam scores. During your orientation week, just before the enrollment day or during the enrollment week, you are in our university and immediately you enter this English exam of our own. Let's check other questions. I need to check the bottom. How long does it take to release the admission decision? Like 2 to 3 weeks, utmost, that we can say. Once we make an application, it will be evaluated accordingly. And
I'm not sure if we ever did we answer it or not till now, but they are asking for the application fee as well. We are one of the few universities who request an application fee. The reason for that, as we mentioned at the beginning, we are one of the few top ranked universities in the country. So because of that, we are receiving many applications, and the thing that we do request from our students to have at least some good grades, a strong academic background. So because of that, we want to eliminate most of the applications. So because according to that, we do request an application fee, and it's $30. Abu Bakar asked this question, so it's $30. Once you complete your application, you will be receiving an link for you to pay the application fee. Once you complete that $30 application fee, you will be directly considered for the evaluation, for the scholarship, and for the acceptance.
meanwhile, I sent our grad program email to the specific questions regarding master's program applications because the requirements regarding master's and grad programs may change according to the one faculty to another or one program to another. So we have to have your email. Right now, we explain the undergrad applications at the moment. However, of course, anytime you can be in contact with us for the master's and all grad program applications as well. So actually, I saw a question. After undergrad and grad courses, after graduation, what are the possibilities to get the job in Turkey, specifically in Turkey? If you want to contribute to this question, I can answer live or I can mention a few things. First of all, Sabanci University's employment rate is from last year is 95% for in Turkey and out of Turkey job opportunities, I mean. So we are actually one of the top universities when you consider employment rate in general, because after graduation, our diploma is really valuable and you can use it with many accreditations if you want to find a job within your field. Finding a job is a different scenario because it has different dynamics. University graduation, the courses that you took is a part of looking at it. However, when you consider having a kind of specific network and networking skills, Sabancı University also provides this to you because networking is important at this time that we have. You have to meet people. You have to meet people specifically from your sector. And you have to be involved with different events within campus or out of campus in order to ease the process of job finding. So this would be my overall view regarding the enrollment, graduation, and employment processes. And another similar question: what are the possibilities to get the internships? Is this paid or unpaid? In Turkey overall, there are two different types of internships. For example, actually the main contribution to the students from Sabanci University is having a compulsory internships for everyone. You have to have an internship process in order to graduate. Without internship, you cannot graduate. So even for the programs like visual arts and communication or political science and international relations or business programs, even the ones that you cannot expect, you have to have an internship in order to graduate. So this adds a good amount of knowledge, like know-how within your CVs. And we have an internship office and career center, like these are going together. And they help you to find internships as well, or once you find an internship, they will be helping you about the application process as well. So some internships, like university internships, if you are doing an internship out of university, mostly it is voluntary, not voluntary, like it is also an internship that you do fully. However, like payment process belongs to the place that you are working for, basically. But you are having an internship within the university, yes, you get paid. And so this is the whole scenario that I can tell you. We mentioned, again, internship question. We mentioned about that as well. A similar question about are the students allowed to work off campus? Mr. Alican, would you like to?
So it's kind of like a complex process in Turkey because like as a again regulation by the Higher Council of Education in Turkey, like actually you are allowed to obtain work permits starting from your second year. Like in your first year, in your freshman year, like you are not allowed to take work permit, but starting from your second year, you are allowed to get work permit. But as I mentioned at the beginning, like it's kind of a complex process because the thing is to receive this work permit, you need to find a place to provide you like a sponsorship to receive this like work permits. Like it's a process that you can apply, but before that, like as I mentioned, you need to find a place who can sponsor like who can provide a sponsorship for you to get this work permit. If you are able to get this work permit, yes, you can work like off campus as well. But as like for our undergraduate students, we do already have like a mandatory internships like in most of the companies. So the thing is like some of the internship opportunities that we are providing, you are already getting paid in these internships. But as I mentioned, to work as like a part-time or full-time, you need to obtain a work permit, and to obtain this work permit, you need to find a company to sponsor you.
Thank you. I'm writing. Okay. Another question. I am doing A-levels and I have English proficiency proof from my college. I have a certificate of medium of instruction. Do I still need to give an English proficiency test? Maybe Ms. Pınar would like to contribute.
I mean, as we mentioned, we only accept TOEFL or PT exam. If you don't have any of them, you need to take our own exam. Even if you study like A-level or IB, it doesn't matter. So you need to give one of these tests.
Thank you. Another question from Ramesh. Do you have any campus placements from reputed organizations, which was mentioned in the presentation? First, you have to consider the name of Sabanci. It's the group name, like community name. So within Sabanci community, you may find internships or jobs from Sabanci companies. Or like Sabanci is a well-known university. We receive many important representatives of different companies within our campus body. Sometimes they visit us just to explain their future programs or internship programs or like basic level job entry explanations are done within, like presentations are done within, like I will just name a few, like EY, PNG, McKinsey, like different consultation firms and different parts, or some different companies like different banks like İş Bankası or Garanti Bankası, etc. These are like some private banks or governmental banks are coming to Sabancı, and like different sectors like regarding like automobile, energy, or automation, supply chain. These are like these prominent companies are visiting Sabanci University as well. So these are the things that I had in my mind. Maybe Mehlal may mention a few things about the like company and university relationships, if you have any information.
So recently as well, we had a really big networking fair, basically. It was basically when we had 60 companies come to campus, and they all had this way of explaining what they required from the students, if they were accepting international students and everything. And even if one didn't, like for example, just for reference, like Rocket Sun had a problem with international students because they're a aerospace company and they have a national contract, so they have national state secrets, so obviously they can't have international students. But we had companies like Turk Telecom, one of the top two Turkish SIM providers. They're open to having international students, and they're actually preferring international students if they come. The person who came was also an international ex-international student who settled in Turkey. I think they were from Lebanon. Um, and there's also companies like Turksat. There were also Siemens, Toyota, LG. These companies came, and they were all looking for international students. And they did prefer if you could speak a bit of Turkish. A bit of Turkish, by I mean like if you're taking at least one or two courses of Turkish in the campus. Like if you just show those, they're able to see if you're willing to acclimatize with the situation you're in, because at the end of the day, you're in Turkey. As back home as well, whenever you're in your country, you prefer people to be able to speak your language, English, and their native language. So it's the same here as well. Anywhere you go, it's going to be like that. And they're really hospitable when they are explaining the internship opportunities. Because after the networking fair, we had an event we call like EMIS, basically. It's also an internship fair, but it's like a high profile internship fair. Basically, companies like L'Oreal, Monster, Yemek Sepeti, maybe you guys know of this.
Like Uber Eats.
Yemek, basically, recently they also launched their own combination with Uber Eats, actually. It's called Uber Eats Go, or Trendyol Go, if you want to say it. And which has become the new the thing you want to order from in Turkey. There's Dream Games also that came. Dream Games, you guys might have heard. This thing that people call on YouTube basically brain rot games, the puzzle games. It's a Turkish company which made those games, and they were visiting campus. They choose the partners they want to have, and they were really open with international students. They said they had 30% international students as their team. So I hope that helped you guys understand that international students are welcome in the internship sphere and everything.
Thank you so much. Another question again from Ramesh. If I have medium of instruction from school and diploma college will be considered to skip English proficiency, what are the possibilities to get internships? Another internship question. We already answered that. Is these paid or unpaid? We also answered that. What are the possibilities to get internships? As you mentioned, since it is compulsory, and our internship office is helping you within this regard. And we had a similar question, but I think it is already replied. So maybe we can mention again our English requirements like TOEFL, PT, or our English exam. Maybe Mr. Alican can contribute quickly.
Like I already provided the link, but for the exemption from the foundation development year, like there are some exams course that we do accept. Like unfortunately, like if you study, for example, A level levels, like Cambridge system with like English proficiency examination. Like unfortunately, we cannot do accept that. Like you need to either submit like one of the English exam scores that we do accept, or you need to sit for our own English exam. So it doesn't like there is no it's mandatory for you to submit like the English scores that we do accept. You don't need to submit a TOEFL score to be accepted for the university, or like you don't need to submit PTE score for to get accepted for the university. Once you complete your application, once you complete your registration, you will be coming to Turkey to start your courses at like start your academic studies in September. In September, as I mentioned in the beginning, like courses are usually start at the end of September and in the beginning of October. So before 2 weeks before of the academic year starts, like usually in mid of September, we are having our own English exam. And if you can sit for that exam and if you can successfully pass, you don't need to be like, and you will be directly get exempted from the foundation development year. Other than that, like there was one question that I saw, but like I cannot find it now. Like I don't know if
Right.
we answered this before. Like, but there was a student who asked for to if there is a chance to increase the scholarship that they already received while they're like getting admitted to the university. So there is always a chance to like increase your scholarship up a month until graduation. Scholarship increase or applications open at the end of each year, and you have opportunity to increase your scholarship based on your academic performance through the year. Like depending on your like GPA score, you can always apply to increase your scholarship. So for example, if you get admitted to the university with like 50% of scholarship, you always do have a chance to like increase the scholarship up to fully funded, like fully funded 100% scholarship. So if you can keep your scores like grades high, you do always have a chance to increase your scholarship to maximum.
Thank you, Mr. Can. We have a question from Hala. I recently got the Turkish citizenship, even though I never lived in Turkey or speak Turkish fluently. I recently heard there's a new law that you can get accepted to any universities as a citizen unless you take like national exam, etc., etc. We will just briefly explain this. First, dear Hala, I'm sending you our email address. Please contribute to the email and send your like citizenship and passport information details for us to explain your situation overall, like with more detail. And important thing is, if you are making an application as an international student, you just need to be careful about your study years. If you haven't studied in Turkey during your education, if you studied your full high school years in any country other than Turkey, like you can easily like make an application as an international student. So there is this difference. But if you have any Turkish citizenship detail or any application concerns, just reach us. And by looking at your own case, we will be letting you know about the process. You're welcome, Omar. Another question from Youssef. If a student receives full scholarship, is the initial entrance fee waived? Additionally, can we extend the registration deadline for paying the fee without losing the scholarship? Again, maybe we can turn this question into the scholarship criteria and overall scholarship application process. Maybe Ms. Pınar can answer quickly.
But I missed the question. I'm so sorry because
Okay.
of my connection. Could you please repeat it? I can reply
Sure.
accordingly.
Sorry, I lost the question too. Because actually,
About scholarship, you told.
yeah, again, like still
Okay.
about the like full percent scholarship opportunity, and also if there is any like application waiver or something.
Yes, I mean, actually for the scholarship offers, there's a scholarship committee that we already mentioned about this. So it's merit-based and your scores, academic background is important for us, like international exams, diplomas, and if you have like supporting documents, some like certificates, Olympiad certificates, like motivation letter, reference letter, these are plus. Anything makes different with the other applicants are plus for your application. And we provide scholarship starting from 25% up to full scholarship. And we also provide like 3% dormitory scholarship. And as Alican mentioned, you can always have chance to increase your scholarship during your education period. And this scholarship offer will be valid till the education period. It will be never canceled. So what else I can mention? I don't know.
I think that's all. Like scholarship is based on your like high school results, transcripts, and overall like success in different areas, like extracurricular activities as well. So thank you, Pınar.
Umar wants to leave, so I assume like we we can close for everyone.
Yes, I think we don't have that much questions. For your applications, please, 1 second, I have to close this. For the applications, like scholarships are for our like fall 2026, 2027. So as an applicant, you can create your application if you have your transcript, graduation diploma. If you don't have your graduation diploma, if there are other exam scores like SAT or predicted grades from your IB results, from your high school diploma, from your A levels, you are able to create an application right now. Our applications are open at the moment, and they'll be stay open until at the end of August. So you are able to make an application, and within 2 to 3 weeks, you are able to receive a scholarship rate if you are accepted and if you are getting an evaluation for any scholarship chances. Thank you, Umar. Thank you. Your questions are really valuable. So I think we answered questions.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll give it a little bit more to see if there's any additional questions that are coming in. If not, we will end the webinar. We will do, most likely we'll do one more of these, I would imagine, before the year ends, guys. So if you have any questions, you can always reach us then too. I think our email address was shared multiple times, but I will one last time share my screen as well, so that we at least can show it to you once more too. Can you guys see the email right now? Or do you see my screen? No,
We
you
can
see.
see
You can
the
see the
email
contact
addresses
details.
and the faces as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, the faces were not supposed to be there, but but the email addresses are important. So yeah, are there any new questions? I don't see any, as far as I can tell. Nope. Okay, cool. So I'll stop sharing. I hope everybody saw the email one last time. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you everyone. Berna, Adijan, Pınar, Mehlal, Sultan, who isn't with us but might see it on the recording, for stopping by. It was lovely to see you all here with us today. And any questions you have, you can always reach us. We hope to see you on campus come September. And have a lovely weekend.
Yes. Thank you to be with
Tamam.
us.
Thank
Hope to
you.
see you soon. Hope to meet with you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.